Tonight, tonight the superstars of Monday Night Raw showcase their talents at the SAP Center in San Jose, California, as part of the Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view event Payback. Welcome to our recap of WWE Payback 2017. Hello, friends. Ridiculously Over Gentleman Anthony Floyo here with you for this special edition of Ridiculously Raw, as we are going to recap the WWE Payback pay-per-view, the Monday Night Raw exclusive Payback pay-per-view. Boy, howdy. I gotta tell you, I didn't really have that much hope going into this event, but I was actually left pleasantly surprised on this night. With the exception of one match on this card, I didn't really see anything on the show that was really anything bad, if I'm going to be real honest with you. And we had some surprises. This was actually a newsworthy show. How newsworthy? Well, you're going to have to just tune in and find out. I'm joined, of course, by my partner in crime in the Yes Movement and our Raw/SmackDown Live chats, the one and only Phenom, Michael Bullock. I do have some bad news. Our first lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, informed me earlier today that she will not be joining us for any of our programs this week. She has a serious family emergency. And I told her, hey, take all the time you need and come back whenever you're ready. Could be next week, so we'll see. So we want to send out our thoughts and prayers to Dee Dee Woodson, Kevin Woodson, and the entire Woodson family, and hope that they get through their emergency in Jesus' name. That's all I can say on that. So Dee Dee, we're dedicating the show to you and your family tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week. And the other member of our panel, good old MF Michael Fletcher, I'm not certain that he'll be joining us. He even indicated that on Strictly Sports the other night. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't join us. I mean, because today is his birthday after all, and he's out celebrating with members of his 2184 crew, and I highly doubt we'll have MF with us tonight. And if that's the case, he will be with us tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw. So at least we'll have MF for that. So MF, I hope you're having a blessed birthday, and we wish you the best. And we'll give you that special we're gonna have a special birthday shout out for MF tomorrow night on Ridiculously Raw. So with that being said, Yes Movement runs the show, and well, we're gonna start it off. We're not going to recap this match. Well, Bullock's not, but I'll give you a brief little thought on it. We had Enzo and Cass going up against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Enzo and Cass actually pick up the win in 6 minutes and 35 seconds. And, I think I rated this about 2 stars, a solid 2 stars for the effort. I mean, it was a fine match for what it was, and it was your basic pre-show match. That's really all it was, and and I thought it was okay for what it was. Solid, all right match. 2 stars. That's what I rated it. So if I had to give a rating, and then we also had the kickoff show. We also had Miz TV. With Miz and Maurice and their special guest, the Demon King, Finn Balor. And I got to tell you, I thought this was a very good segment, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, yeah, so I think there's no question about it in my mind. We're on our way to maybe a Finn Balor and Miz feud. I could get with that. I mean, why not? I mean, I think the fans want to see it. So, let me see. What did I say about this? Yes, I said it was a good segment. Miz carries every speaking segment, and Balor came off well. Live crowd loved him, and I like that they planted the seed for an eventual Finn Balor-Brock Lesnar match. Oh, my Lord. Would that be something? Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar down the line, maybe, for the Universal Championship? I want to see it. I know Bullock wants to see it. And if you're gonna do a Balor-Lesnar Universal feud, do it for SummerSlam. That's all I can say. Save that for SummerSlam. You do that at SummerSlam. you got a guaranteed fight of the night contender. Absolutely. So with all that being said, let's move on to the main card. Of course, it was live at the SAP Center in San Jose, California, the Shark Tank. And we started it off with our first match of the evening. The United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. Return match from WrestleMania. Champion Kevin Owens, the face of America, defending the title against the challenger and former champion Chris Jericho. Winner of the match in between 14 minutes and 5 seconds. And the new United States Heavyweight Champion, Chris Jericho. Jericho wins the title. He wins it via submission with the walls of Jericho between 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Well there. They like to stay one step ahead of us. Everyone, including us, we all assumed Jericho was losing because of the upcoming Fozzy tour, but they went the other way. I can't imagine this is going to stick in terms of Owens remaining on Raw. SmackDown Live has a shortage of top heels, and he's the best heel on the brand. Not sure how they will get to it, but I assume that Owens will still end up on SmackDown Live with the United States Heavyweight Championship very soon. He's going to have a rematch clause. So let's just get that out of the way. And I still think we're going to get that Owens AJ dream match at Backlash. I'm still holding out hope for it. Maybe this week on SmackDown Live, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But with Jericho winning the title, that means Chris Jericho is going to SmackDown Live. So a birthday present for MF. I mean, I'm sure MF has got to be going crazy right now because, I mean, this is a big coup for SmackDown Live to have Y2J on the blue brand. And I know that's going to make MF a very happy man on that. My rating for this, 2 3/4 stars. That's the highest I can go for it, teetering on 3. I mean, solid enough match. I want to say the Mania match was a smidge better, but this was still another very good match between these two guys. And, a good way to start it off. And, hey, what a better way to start off a pay-per-view than with some unpredictability and a major surprise. The first of our newsworthy moments on this show here tonight. Because, like I said, this was a newsworthy show. So how about it? So 2 3/4 to 3 stars is my rating for it. So Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in. We have a new United States Heavyweight Champion, Chris Jericho, regaining the title here tonight. And that means Chris Jericho and his list and the United States Heavyweight Championship is on his way to SmackDown Live. And I feel sorry for all those stupid idiots and mutton heads over there who have to deal with the master of the list.
Yeah, and I mean, well, first off, I gotta do like you would do. So that happened. Yeah,
oh, yeah. I mean, that happened.
Yeah, because like we said, we all thought Kevin Owens was gonna win this match and retain the title. No, WWE threw a curveball at us, and yeah, and this was definitely a good match to start off Payback, and I'll say the same rating, 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I mean, very good match, certainly a very good tone setter for Payback. So yeah, Chris Jericho and his list are now going to be going to SmackDown Live, and looks like those stupid idiots and mutton heads are now going to be on the list of Jericho. Well, whoever it could be for SmackDown Live, yeah, maybe like one Baron Corbin for what he did to a WWE official. So maybe that's one person he could put on his list. So, but we'll just definitely have to wait and see. But I think we're going to get a rematch between these two for the United States Championship, and I think it could happen as soon as this Tuesday night on SmackDown Live. And I think Kevin Owens, I'm going to say it, I think he's going to regain it, and it's going to end up being AJ Styles against Kevin Owens for the U.S. title at Backlash, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, I mean, would be a good match. But here's the thing: we've already seen this whole rivalry before. I mean, last year, for example. So, yeah, I mean, I want to see a fresh feud, especially with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. So, yeah, so good match to start off the Payback pay-per-view, 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I think we're getting the U.S. title rematch this Tuesday night on SmackDown Live, and Kevin Owens is gonna regain the title, and he's gonna end up facing AJ Styles at Backlash. So nothing else to say except let's move on to our next match,
which you'll be starting off on, Bullock, and it's another championship match. This one for the Cruiserweight Championship. Champion and King of the Cruiserweights, Adrian Neville, defending the title in another return match from WrestleMania, this time against Austin Aries. Aries, of course, winning a contenders match to get here. Winner of the match, time of the fall ranging from 11 minutes and 20 seconds to 11 minutes and 22 seconds. The winner of the match via a disqualification is Austin Aries. However, Adrian Neville is still the Cruiserweight champion because, as you all know, in case you've been living under a rock all these years, the only way a championship changes hands in WWE is via pinfall or a submission. That did not happen. Therefore, still your Cruiserweight champion and King of the Cruiserweights, Adrian Neville. So, Michael Bullock, in the immortal words of the late great Gorilla Monsoon, this feud is far from over.
and another word you gotta say: a miscarriage of justice here. So, yeah, this was a really good match, but the DQ finish to me really took away from what I thought was a really good match between these two. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, before the DQ finish, I was going to give this 3 stars, but because of the DQ finish, I do have to take away. I have to lower my rating down to 2.5 stars as my rating. So, I mean, still a good match. It's just that DQ finish really rubbed me the wrong way, and I do agree with you, Florio. This feud is far from over. I think Austin Aries, because of that DQ, is going to get another shot at the Cruiserweight title. And yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. 2.5 stars. Florio, it's yours.
Oh, there will be a rematch at the earliest possible date. Only question is, when is that earliest possible date? Could it be tomorrow night on Raw?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Could it be tomorrow night on Raw? Or heck, could it even be on 205 Live on Tuesday night?
Well,
give that show some exposure.
It's got to be one of those two.
Yeah, because the next Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view is not for another 5 weeks on June the 4th when Raw presents Extreme Rules from the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore. But we'll get into that within the next month or so. But nonetheless, it's an agree to disagree here, Bullock. I agree with you about the DQ finish ruining it, but then again, didn't I say on the preview last night? Didn't I say there was a possibility that that there was going to be some shenanigans here? Like there was going to be a DQ finish possibly, and
I agree with you on that. But I was I thought maybe the shenanigans would come from T.J. Perkins,
or maybe even Jack Gallagher. But nonetheless, it ends up being a disqualification, and now this is where the disagree part comes in. I got to respectfully disagree with your rating, Bullock. 3.25 stars is my rating for this. Let me see. What did I have here? A creative finish to keep the title on Neville, yet not have Aries take another pinfall loss to Neville. I'm going to be honest. I enjoyed the WrestleMania match more. That's all I can say about that. The Mania match was far and away better.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
Go out of your way to see it on the network if you haven't already. But I like the finish, even though it's obviously not a satisfying one, cop-out finish. We're not fans of it, but this is one time that I think it was actually necessary. It's a great way and it's a creative way to keep the feud going. And there will be a rematch. The big question is, when is that going to happen? Is it going to be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, or could it be Tuesday night on 205 Live? Because like I said, June 4th, that's the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view, Extreme Rules. So we'll wait and see on that. But so that's it for that. And now we move on to our next match. And this is the match that Michael Bullock and I had the vested interest in. This was our match right here. Because this was for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Champions, the Hardy Boys, or as I affectionately still call them, the Broken Hardys. Broken Matt Hardy, Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy, defending the titles against number one contenders, challengers, and former Raw Tag Team Champions in their own rights, Sheamus and Cesaro. The winners of the match in 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Well, let me just double check here. It ranges from 12 minutes and 45 seconds to 12 minutes and 51 seconds. Nonetheless, the winners of the match, and still your Raw Tag Team Champions, the Broken Hardys, they get it done. Matt and Jeff, they get the win. But wait, what's this? After the match, heel turn, Sheamus and Cesaro have turned heel. Yep, I called this. I
was just about to say, I think you called this one.
Right? Didn't I say last night on our preview that we were going to see a possible Sheamus and Cesaro heel turn? Based on what we've seen on Raw over the last couple of weeks after those singles bouts. And now we get it. We get the Sheamus and Cesaro heel turn. And yeah, as far as the match is concerned, I'm going to say by a smidge, this was the second best fight of the night for me. I'm giving it a solid 3.5 stars. I mean, yeah. A rough night for the Hardys from a physicality standpoint, with Jeff losing a tooth and Matt suffering a cut on his forehead, but the match was enjoyable. Post-match angle was strong. I wondered where they would go after all the apprehensive handshakes on Raw, but I actually thought they were going to end this with another round of handshakes, and it looked like it was on its way to doing that. But then we get the heel turn, and the attack by Sheamus and Cesaro was violent and changes the dynamic of this program. And it'll be interesting to see how their heel push affects the Revival once Scott Dawson is healthy. I didn't even know he was injured. So I guess that's why we haven't seen the Revival over the last couple of weeks. So once Scott Dawson gets healthy, I mean, what's going to happen? Who's going to be the next great heel tag team on Raw? Because they obviously needed another one. You know, if Dawson is out, I mean, they needed another heel tag team. So I guess that's why they had to turn Sheamus and Cesaro here, even though they're wildly over with the fans, just as much as the Hardys are. But, so yeah, 3.5 stars. But despite the sad ending, despite the unhappy ending there with the Hardys getting beat down, we got a special surprise for all of you fans here tonight. I'm not going to post the same old green bean photo that we're used to seeing, because I found something very, very interesting on social media earlier this evening before the Payback pay-per-view got underway. And I shared it with Michael Bullock, and we agreed that we were going to share this here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to debut a brand new green bean photo, and you're going to have a lot of fun with this. So, Michael Bullock, I asked the age-old question. What happens when the Hardys win and successfully defend their World Tag Team Championships? You know it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Ready?
There it is, folks.
Green beans.
Green beans for everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just any green beans. Sauteed green beans. Yeah.
Yes.
Aren't they a thing of beauty? Is that delectable? Is that delightful? Is that wonderful? Yes.
Oh, it's all three of them. It's delightful. It's delightful and it's wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. And for all those who don't like green beans, you've all been deleted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I only wish MF was here, because then he could have done the Jeff Hardy obsolete song. But you know, it is what it is. And just like with the Aries and Neville feud, this feud is far from over as well. And I could see something going down tomorrow night on Raw. And interestingly enough, there was a backstage segment during the Payback kickoff show in which, of all teams, the Golden Truth, R-Truth and Goldust, they issued a challenge to the winners of the match. And the Hardys won. So, and it's been, I guess it's officially announced that the Hardys and Golden Truth will fight for the tag team titles, but I don't see anything much coming out of that because I think Sheamus and Cesaro are gonna rear their noses in it, and we're really gonna intensify this feud. And who knows? Now that the Hardys got taken out by both Sheamus and Cesaro, could this be where we get the Broken Brilliance? Oh, I hope so. So with that being said, second best fight of the night, 3.5 stars, solid 3.5 stars. So, Brother Bullock, did you find this match as delightful and enjoyable as your brother Florio did? Yes.
Oh, I found it delightful and enjoyable. And it was also wonderful, Brother Florio. And I do agree with your rating of 3.5 stars. Yeah, it was wonderful. And let's just say, Cesaro and Sheamus, you've just been deleted by the Hardy Boys. And you know what you guys should try? How about some green beans for you, Sheamus and Cesaro? And everybody, it's green beans for everyone. Yes.
Yes.
3.5 stars. That's really nothing more to say. So, Florio, let's move on to the next match that I will lead off on.
Oh man, how do you follow that? I mean, I gotta tell you, ever since I dropped that on you, Bullock, I mean, you picked the ball up with that and you ran with it. Awesome. All I can say. Awesome. So now we move on, and well, how about another championship match for your troubles? The Raw Women's Championship on the line. Champion and hometown girl Bayley, because it was in her hometown of San Jose, squaring off against former 2-time SmackDown Live Women's Champion, the 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss. Just got to get the time of the fall here. It ranges from between 11 minutes and 15 seconds, 11 minutes and 11 seconds to 11 minutes and 15 seconds. But nonetheless, the winner of the match. And what's this? The new Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss? Whoa. Michael Bullock, game changer in the Raw Women's division.
And I'll tell you this, Florio. I should have gone with Alexa Bliss, because remember I told you the night when she came to Monday Night Raw, and I told you that I thought that she was going to defeat Bayley and become the new Raw Women's Champion. I should have gone with that.
Yeah, always listen to your gut, man.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I went with my heart over my gut, and I should have gone with my gut here. But dang, I mean, this was another good match, and I'll say about 3 to 3.25 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I loved how Alexa Bliss played that. I mean, she really played that heel role very well, basically taunting Bayley's hometown crowd every time, and yeah, I mean, congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Now the first woman ever to hold both the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. And she even said it when I was watching a little bit of the Raw talk. She said that something that Bayley never did, something Sasha Banks, Alexa, or any of the 4 horsewomen I mean, they never did that, and yet Alexa Bliss was the one who did it. So 3 to 3.25 stars, and there's really nothing more to say. So, Florio, boy, was I should have went with my gut and went with Alexa Bliss, and let's just say I'll just eat that slice of humble pie.
Indeed. I mean, wow. I mean, another surprise. I mean, another newsworthy moment here. I mean, first Chris Jericho wins the United States Heavyweight Championship. Then we get the heel turn of Cesaro and Sheamus. And now we throw in Alexa Bliss. let me tell you, WWE is seriously high on this girl, and rightfully so. I mean, here's a young lady who, when she debuted, had a gimmick that was, like a fairy princess, like a princess in a fairy tale. I mean, that's when I fell in love with her. I mean, that's when I was calling her my future wife, and of course nowadays she's my future ex-wife, as you can see, because of the heel turn and the whole 9 yards. But nonetheless,
And the heel turn is doing her wonders.
oh, it's done more than wonders, man. I mean, she's now a 3-time overall women's champion, two-time SmackDown Live women's champion, and now
And
making history.
and I'm going to be quite honest with you, that gimmick she had in NXT, I mean, some did enjoy it, but others didn't like it because it wasn't getting her diddly squat.
Very true, but man, what a match. They did a good job with the replay of showing Bayley's head hitting the ring post off the kick out. And they also could have played up Bliss slamming Bayley's head into the corner early on, but Cole was effective in pointing out the head injury the moment that Bliss hit the DDT. The match exceeded my expectations. Bliss has been excellent on the mic and a work in progress in the ring. And she and Bayley put together a really nice effort here. And it's because of that, I'm going to reward him with a 3-star rating. For as great as Bliss' character and personality work are, she still does have some issues with her work, such as basic timing and also bumping before she needs to. It's not so bad that it ruins matches, and it isn't super noticeable unless you really look for it. But it's only fair to point out her good and bad points. The good news was that this was another good match with Bliss winning by nefarious means and the finish playing well off of the post spots. So congratulations, Alexa Bliss, the brand new Raw Women's Champion. So, okay. What happened next was, now this was interesting here. We were wondering about what was going to happen with the House of Horrors match. I read earlier in the dirt sheet that they pre-taped the house portion of this. It started at this House of Horrors, this Bray Wyatt House of Horrors. Randy Orton was in a limo, and then he breaks into the house. We get the hocus pocus stuff and all that, and then they just have a Pier 6 brawl. It was basically no holds barred, basically hardcore, and that's all I can say right now. So it was to be continued because the match would start in the House of Horrors but end in the ring. So we'll get to our full thoughts on that in just a minute. Next up on Payback, one of the big matches of the show here. The Kingslayer, Seth Rollins, one-on-one with the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe. The winner of the match in 15 minutes and 55 seconds, or via a various other time. 15 minutes and 55 seconds. That was the time of the fall. The winner of the match, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins the match with the unique pinning combination here. And that was it. So Seth Rollins picks up a big win here, coming off of his WrestleMania win over Triple H. 3.5 stars, and I got to say this was my fight of the night here. I am surprised to see Joe lose, but the important thing is that he didn't lose decisively. Sure, he was pinned, but it's not like he took Seth's finisher and was laid out before being pinned. Personally, I would have had Rollins get on a roll, only to have Joe get the same type of win, simply to keep Joe's unbeaten streak going, so that it meant more when Rollins or someone else eventually beat him. But I thought this was a very good match, and like I said, this was my fight of the night because there were a lot of great things about this match, and one of the things I liked about this match, and I know Bullock would agree with me on this, we got quite a few tope suicidas, a la Mauro Ranallo. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, Seth Rollins did a couple of tope suicidas. Samoa Joe did one. And by the way, Austin Aries actually did one during the Cruiserweight match with Neville. But nonetheless, very enjoyable match. I mean, there was some bouts of Shakespearean drama here. Some good pinfalls, some good near falls, great scientific chain wrestling. You know how much Bullock and I love that. I mean, it was far from a Flair Steamboat 5-star classic. I mean, that's what got Bullock and me into the business in the first place. But nonetheless, it was still a very good technical bout, and Rollins wins it with a nice, unique pinning combination. So yeah. And the theme of the night, this feud is far from over as well. So that's all I can say on that. So fight of the night, solid 3.5, maybe teetering on 3 3/4 or 4 stars. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins? Very good match.
Yeah, this was a really good match. 3.5 stars. I do agree this was the fight of the night. I mean, it was a very good match, and fortunately for Samoa Joe, it's his first defeat since coming to Monday Night Raw. So so there's you pretty much touched on everything else. So there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, let's just move on.
And we're gonna move on to the conclusion of the House of Horrors match in the ring with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. When all was said and done, in 4 minutes and 20 seconds worth of arena time, winner of the match, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt wins it after the Bollywood Boys and Jinder Mahal show up and attack Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail for the 1, 2, 3, and Bray Wyatt wins the House of Horrors match. And okay. Michael Bullock, what did you make of this first ever House of Horrors match? Because I still don't know what to make of it myself.
I really don't know either. You know what? I hate to say it. I mean, I really wasn't that impressed with it. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna give this a no rating. I mean, I really wasn't all that impressed with it, and I'm really hoping that this. I mean, now I hope this feud is finally over. I mean, it's just been so dreadful. So I really don't know what else there is to say about this. Florio, it's yours. I don't know.
Nope. I'll make the point for you. No rating to a dud. This was far and away the worst of the night. I mean, oh lordy. All right, now I'll say it like this: we'll all look back on this and laugh someday. Yeah, right. Said no one. The House of Horrors element of the match was on the high end of realistic expectations. I'll give them that. There was no hocus pocus or insects or over the top fires. It was just two guys brawling in a creepy house. They kept it quick in the arena, which I'm glad they did. You know, this was shades of that Hollywood backlot brawl with Piper and Goldust at WrestleMania 12, even though I thought that was far and away better. The backlot brawl, that is. They kept it quick in the arena, and they did the wise thing by letting Wyatt win this match while also shifting the heat from Bray Wyatt to Jinder Mahal, and I guess they're calling them the Singh brothers now, or I still call them the Bollywood Boys, because I remember those two from the Cruiserweight Classic last summer. But yeah, no rating to a dud. I mean, this was the one real low point of this show here tonight. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, you remember I said I had no expectations of this fight whatsoever, but that's what happens. So that's really all I can say on that. So well, actually, I will give it more here. What was I going to say here? The thing that made the broken final deletion stuff work was that it never took itself too seriously. It was campy, absurd, and embraced those traits. The House of Horrors portion felt way too serious, like WWE Studios was trying to make another straight-to-DVD movie. As a match, this was no good, but as a storytelling device to get some heat on Mahal ahead of his title match with Orton and allow Bray to quote unquote win the feud, it worked. So that's really all I can say on that. So with all that being said, let's move on to the main event of the evening. The monster among men, Braun Strowman, one-on-one with the big dog, Roman Reigns. And the winner of the match, ranging in a time range of 11 minutes and 45 seconds to 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Winner of the match, who won it? Michael Bullock. You know we got to do it. You know we got to. We got to do it. Braun Strowman. Roar! He did it. Braun Strowman slayed the big dog here tonight. And you heard that crowd in San Jose. Thank you, Strowman. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Strowman, indeed. Actually, I got to make a slight alteration to my scorecard here. The tag team titles was the third best fight of the night. The Rollins and Joe was the second best. I got to say, this is actually the fight of the night for me. And I'm going to give... I'm giving the Hardy match 3.5. The Joe and Rollins solid 3.5. This was 3 3/4 stars. Very good main event with Braun winning in a clean and decisive manner. It also had more heat than just about anything on the show. We all know that the end game is Braun being built up as a killer to ultimately put Reigns over in the end. But I do feel that it won't kill him when that happens due to how much credibility they've given Braun. And he continues to be the best thing going on Monday Night Raw today. Hands down. Very good big man main event. There were a couple of awkward moments, but they worked really hard and the fans were into everything and all the near falls. It's good to see they went with Strowman going over clean. Reigns had built-in excuses, and Strowman would appear to be next up for Lesnar. Because as you all know, if you didn't see Derek Ferrera's video the other day, or if you didn't read any dirt sheets the other day, Sunday night, July the 9th, there's going to be another Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view, and it's going to be called, of all names, get this, Great Balls of Fire. Okay. And it's going to be at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, and it's also being reported that Brock Lesnar is actually going to come out of hibernation and actually defend the Universal Championship. What? A Universal title match? Oh my, I don't believe it. We're actually going to get one. And who knows, maybe Braun Strowman could be that first challenger. I'd be for it. So we'll see what happens. So, but with all that being said, in all seriousness, though, this was, to me, my fight of the night after my alterations here. Slight alterations. 3 3/4 stars. So, Michael Bullock, our favorite big man, he did it again. Roar!
Roar! Yeah, 3 3/4 stars, and I do agree. This was indeed the fight of the night. I agree with you on that. So, yeah, I mean, what a way for these two, what a way for Strowman to get a win here, and yeah, and I think now he's going to be in line for a shot at the Universal title against Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to be said. So, fight of the night, 3 3/4 stars. So, so let's move on to overall thoughts, and I'll lead off on it.
Yeah, you lead off. Overall thoughts, Michael Bullock, and I gotta say, this show totally exceeded my expectations after the low hopes I had going for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, same here with me. I mean, because going into this, like we said on our previous show, and I said it, I thought it was going to be a 4 out of 10 because of the way the final Raw before Payback went, and yes, and it really exceeded my expectations, and I'm gonna say about 8 to 8.5 out of 10 is my rating for this edition of a Payback. And yeah, so I mean every fight was good, well, except for that House of Horrors match, which was the only thing that left a bitter taste in my mouth. So yeah, I mean, all the fights were good. I mean, Yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So 8 to 8.5. I could even say eight. I could even say 8 to 8.5 to even. You know what? Maybe even I could go higher and say 8 3/4. But to me, 8 to 8.5 out of 10. You know what? Screw the 8. I'm going to say 8.5 to 8 3/4. So, Florio, it is yours.
Right the first time, Bullock. 8 to 8.5 is my rating for this. It's what really hurt the rating was the House of Horrors nonsense. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I stand corrected. I gotta go back to that 8 to 8.5.
Yeah, that's the appropriate rating for this show tonight. Outside of the House of Horrors, which was bad and hurt the show's momentum after such a strong start, I felt that WWE Payback largely over delivered on my expectations. I was very surprised about the US title change, but for the most part, we had good wrestling up and down the card. Sheamus and Cesaro turned heel, which I like because they can fill the Revival's role until they return. Aries and Neville will continue and hopefully build to a big blow-off match. Bliss beat Charlotte to the punch in terms of winning both women's titles. Jinder Mahal got some heat on him for costing Orton his match, and Braun destroyed Reigns and picked up an important win. At the end of the day, this was a very solid show that exceeded expectations and could have been better if not for the House of Horrors stuff. But overall, seriously, it exceeded expectations. I mean, how could it not, given the lousy build? We had a very good main event, 2 title changes, Sheamus and Cesaro turning heel, but the House of Horrors, though, even though it was nowhere near as campy as it could have been, I still overly did not really enjoy it all that much. So 8 to 8.5, and I'm gonna take it one step further. I think this was far and away the best Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view I've seen yet. And it's because of that I am very happy and delighted to wear my brand new, I don't think you can see it all that well, my brand new Monday Night Raw t-shirt. Yep, there it is.
Nice.
Now can you say I'm a Raw guy?
If that doesn't prove it, I don't know what will.
Yeah. So because of how great this show was, I am more than proud to wear the Raw Red t-shirt. So thank you very much, Monday Night Raw. You exceeded my expectations. I am proud of you. Well done. That's how you put on a pay-per-view. Okay, SmackDown Live, it's your turn. 3 weeks from tonight, May 21. You got a great backdrop in the IWC capital of the world, Chicago. Let's see how you boys deliver.
And you got the in-ring debut of Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown Live.
And it'll most likely be against Dolph Ziggler, which should be a hell of a match. And of course, you got Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. And as it stands right now, Chris Jericho and AJ Styles for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
But I think that's going to change.
Yeah, I hope it does. We've seen Jericho and AJ too many times. We had that 4-match series early 2016. So I still think it's going to be Owens. And then from there, we also have the Usos defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against Breezango. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right, 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Very good show indeed. Far and away the best Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view I've seen yet. About damn time. Well done. I am proud to wear the Raw shirt tonight. Thank you guys. Well done. So that's it. So that concludes our recap of Payback 2017. We hope you all enjoyed it. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow night at this time for Ridiculously Raw. Of course, MF and I will also have our Ranger Roundup as we recap Game 2 of the New York Rangers second round series with the Ottawa Senators, which is not going our way right now. But I'm going to say something about that tomorrow night, believe me. And then Tuesday night, we got the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on his channel, Brace Fan 95. You know, we'll You know what we do there. Ridiculously Raw, we'll run down Raw, sort out all the fallout from Payback. And I'll have my Tony's take on 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. And then MF will do the Cerebral Smack Talk. And of course, we have another Ranger Roundup scheduled because that's game 3 of the Senators Rangers series from Madison Square Garden. We're off on Wednesday, and then Thursday, I think we'll have another Ranger Roundup show because that's game 4. And then Friday night, Strictly Sports is one of our biggest shows of the year. We are going to give you our team by team and grade by grade recap of the NFL draft. So a big, another huge week of programming right here on the family of networks. My channel, the Tone 25, MF's channel, Brace Fan 95, and of course Derek Ferrera's channel, Boston Sports Fan 84. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Ranger Roundup and Ridiculously Raw, it's the Ridiculously Over Gentleman Anthony Florio for the Phenom Michael Bullock, in spirit, the birthday boy, happy birthday, good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Twisted Angel and First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Dee Woodson, and of course the man himself, the Hardcore Pipe Bomb, Derek Ferrera. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Monday. And until tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw on the Ranger Roundup, you've been watching the WWE Payback 2017 recap right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. Good night, everybody.